Here.
Commissioner Howington,
Here.
Commissioner Nabek, Commissioner Santiago,
Here.
Vice Mayor Avila Vasquez,
Present.
Mayor Avila.
Here. All right, at this time, we're going to do the invocation and the pledge. If we can please stand, and then Commissioner Harriet, you can lead us in the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, for one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. So Commissioner Harriet has a person that he wants to recognize as a veteran. So I'm going to go down to pull that information because he has Commissioner Harriet, you have something you left with the clerk, correct?
No, I think we were going to recognize some other individuals this
Okay.
evening.
Got it. Testing, testing. All right, at this time, I'd like to ask First Lieutenant Colton Doherty to please come to the front. This is an appropriate time to give him a big round of applause. Please stand right here. So I'm going to read this. This is a recognition of honor dated today, July 20th, 2026, honoring the service of First Lieutenant Colton Doherty. Whereas Lieutenant Doherty is a resident of the city of Deltona, Florida, and whereas Lieutenant Doherty graduated with honors from the United States military at West Point, and whereas Lieutenant Doherty is currently based at Fort Campbell, Kentucky, where he is serving the nation as an Army officer with the Air Defense Artillery, ADA, branch, responsible for protecting ground forces, geopolitical assets, and civilian populations from aerial attacks, including airplanes, helicopters, ballistic missiles, mortars, and drones. And whereas Lieutenant Doherty served our country, our state, and our city proudly in 2026 Iranian war, serving the code-named Operation Epic Fury. And whereas Lieutenant Doherty served 375 days in the Middle East from June 2025 to July 2026, he led his team of ADA specialists for a total of exactly 350 consecutive daily shifts. And whereas Lieutenant Doherty was recognized with the Rare Combat Action Badge for his work in the Middle East, which is awarded to soldiers who are personally present, under fire, and actively engaging with the enemy. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the city of Deltona, Florida, thanks First Lieutenant Colton Doherty for his service and recognizes him as a hometown hero. Thank you. The city manager would like to come and take a picture with his son. It would be great. Siblings, I believe your siblings are here as well. Yeah. All right, if I can please have the folks from Parks and Recs please come up. Mark Manning, all your whole staff, if they can please come forward. All right. So coming up, we're going to do a Parks and Recreation Month proclamation. Whereas since 1985, America has celebrated July as the nation's official Parks and Recreation Month, and the United States House of Representatives officially mandated July as Parks and Recreation Month in 2009. And whereas Parks and Recreation promotes physical, emotional, and mental health and wellness through organized and self-directed fitness, play, and activity. And whereas Parks and Recreation facilities foster social cohesiveness in communities by celebrating diversity, providing spaces to come together peacefully, promoting social equity, and ensuring people of all ages have access to its benefits. And whereas Parks and Recreation services amplify a community's economic prosperity through increased property values, boosting tourism, attraction and retention of businesses, and crime reduction. And whereas we observe July as Parks and Recreation Month, the City of Deltona supports the skilled work of parks and recreation professionals who help strengthen the community and connect people with nature and each other, and provide opportunities for healthful living and environmental sustainability. Now, therefore, we, the Mayor and the City Commissioners of Deltona, Florida, do hereby proclaim the month of July 2026 as Parks and Recs executed this 15th day of June 2026 for July. So. All right. So I want to take the time to thank Representative Barnaby's legislative aides that are here. They were here in honor of Lieutenant Doherty. So thank you guys for showing up. That means, I'm sure, a lot to the Doherty family. Thank you. This time we're going to go into additions and deletions. Go ahead, City Manager.
Mayor, for the addition, it didn't make it to the agenda here, was the Deltona magazine. As we did last year, they're asking for complimentary use for the Deltona Awards, the business awards. I believe the event is in October or so they want to get moving on that. They were just asking, as they did last year, for a Wednesday night for complimentary use of the chamber for the business awards.
Okay, so that's going to be item 7I.
Yes, please.
For those taking notes. Perfect. All right. As we start moving forward, as usual, if there's somebody here that is online, we usually give them the courtesy of going first, and then whoever pushes the button comes after. So we're going to go ahead into, did you need to make an addition or deletion? No? Okay. We're going to go ahead and go to community events. None? All right. Consent agenda item. At this time, we are looking for an approval, or sorry, I'm looking for a motion. And before we pull, do you want to pull does anybody want to pull anything? Just click on the button here. Commissioner Harriet, we give you the courtesy of going first because you're on the Zoom.
No, I don't need to pull anything. Thank you, Mayor.
All right, Vice Mayor, you're next.
Yes, I'd like to pull every one of them.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. So in this case, I will get you to go first for everyone. Give me a minute. All All right, is there any public comment on the consent agenda items? We'll go through public comment, and then we'll start. Go ahead.
Brandy White, please.
How about now? Okay, Brandy White, Deltona. The only thing I wanted to touch on real quick was, I believe it was 7A, the Lake McGarity Fund. I believe during the workshop, it may have been touched on, but a previous meeting workshop, it was touched on that we were going to pause that we had more than enough in there. We didn't need to set any fee this year at all. And I'm curious then why we're setting the maximum on tonight's agenda. I get the whole theory. We set max so that we can, bring it down later, but we've already said we plan on doing none. So I'm just concerned to see that at all, considering this was already discussed as not being necessary. Thank you.
Pat Blodgett, please.
Can I bring up things on the budget?
When that item comes up, yes.
We don't have it on the agenda for the budget.
No, when that item comes up on the agenda, for example, like the fire assessment, it's under 8A, you can bring it
okay.
up at that time.
Okay, then I have nothing.
Can you put her card back, please, to make sure?
That ends public comment.
All right, Vice Mayor Avila Vasquez, please.
Thank you,
We are
Mayor.
discussing consent agenda item 7A, which is a request for approval of resolution number 2026-55.
Yes, and my question was similar to Ms. Brandy White's question. Are we still not going to increase? We're just going to make it a $0 request from them?
Yes, Vice Mayor. When we met on this at the June workshop, we originally said postponement, but after discussing it with the city attorney's office and whatnot, due to the fact that it was put together by the residents of Lake McGarity, it has to be $0. So if you look at the resolution, the maximum amount for the assessment is set at $0.
Okay.
So when it's advertised, it will show up on their individual tax bills as a $0 amount.
Okay, thank you. So I'd like to make a motion to approve that one.
All right, we still have people.
I'm sorry?
We still
Oh,
have
you
some.
still have, okay.
Yeah, hold on. Commissioner Howington, you're up next. Is there something you want to talk about?
I'm going to second her motion.
Okay. Commissioner Nabik.
I was going to second.
All right, go ahead. Did you have anything to add to that, Commissioner Harriet?
Yes, Mayor. Is it still being advertised at the increased rate on the trim notice?
0. At a 0 rate is what Mr. McKinney is saying.
He said it's going to be a 0 rate on the tax bill, but is it still going to be advertised at a different rate on the trim notice?
It will be advertised at $0 on the trim notice.
Okay, thank you for the clarification.
All right, Vice Mayor.
Thank you.
There you go.
Thank you. Consent agenda item B, the assessment of
No,
208.
we need to make the motion and vote.
Oh, I'm sorry, I thought we already did.
No. Go ahead and make your motion.
Want to go so quickly here. So I make a motion to approve item 8 on the agenda, on the consent agenda.
7A, got it. And Commissioner Howington, do you wanted to make, go ahead.
I second the motion.
We have a motion by Vice Mayor Avila Vasquez, second by Commissioner Howington. Can we please vote?
We can't.
Yeah, she knows. I know.
Commissioner Colwell,
Yes.
Commissioner Harriet,
Yes.
Commissioner Howington,
Yes.
Commissioner Nabik,
Yes.
Commissioner Santiago,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Avila Vasquez,
Yes.
Mayor Avila.
Yes. All right, this time we're going to go to section 7B as in boy, which is a request for approval of resolution number 2026-56. Go ahead, Vice Mayor Avila Vasquez.
Thank you, Mayor. The assessment of $287.76, was that part of the breakdown that was discussed to increase it on an annual basis, or is this a 5-year basis as well?
This is part of the first 3 years, and when we do the PowerPoint.
Presentation for July.
Yes, sir. Here, I can get it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Use this if you need to.
Vice Mayor, I took a screenshot of the contract that was approved by the commission on September 15th, 2025 by Resolution 2025-123. It clearly stated that the first 3 years, Waste Pro had a built-in increase. It wasn't until October 1st of 2028 that the CPI index went into effect. So yes, ma'am, the rates at 287.76 includes all increases, as well as we are realizing a 7.98% increase from Volusia County on the landfill component.
Okay, but this is, after 3 years, it will be increased again?
It will increase next year as
What was
well.
suggested
Every
by-
year, it will increase every year.
Okay. That's it on this one.
All right, wait a minute. Commissioner Harriet, do you have anything to add? We'll start with you.
Thank you. I have no comments.
All right, at this time, I'll entertain a motion. Commissioner Harriet, we'll start with you again, and then we'll go to the next person online.
I'll make a motion to approve this item as presented.
All right, Commissioner Nabik, you're up next.
Second.
All right, we have a motion by Commissioner Harriet, second by Commissioner Nabik. Please go ahead with your verbal vote.
Commissioner Caldwell? Commissioner Harriet?
Yes.
Commissioner Howington?
No.
Commissioner Nabik?
Yes.
Commissioner Santiago?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Vila Vasquez?
No?
Mayor Vila?
Yes. The motion passes 4-3, correct? Okay. We're going to go next to Section 7C as in Charlie, which is a request for approval of Resolution Number 2026-57, establishing the maximum stormwater annual assessment rate. Vice Mayor Vila Vasquez, you're up first.
Thank you. And I just want to give an explanation of why I'm going through this, because residents call me and they couldn't understand everything that was written down on this paper. So I want everybody to walk out of here understanding what's going on. The $210 per equivalent residential unit, that is also going to be raised in phases. Am I correct?
Mr. McKinney, turn on your mic again, please.
The proposed rate at $210 annually is the third of a 5-year implementation.
So after 5 years, it'll increase? It'll go up again?
Yes, ma'am. In 12 months from now, we will engage the rate consultant again to do the next 5-year update, which is required as part of the non-ad valorem assessment process.
Thank you, appreciate that answer.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we'll start with you, Commissioner Harriet. Do you have anything to add?
No.
Did you want to start with a motion? No? At this time,
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I'll make the motion for this. Stormwater impacts District 1 heavily and is a very significant issue in our area. So I'll make a motion to approve consent agenda item C.
There's a motion by Commissioner Harriet. Commissioner Santiago, you're up next.
Second.
There's a second by Commissioner Santiago. Can we please vote?
Commissioner Caldwell?
I have a quick question. Is this gonna go up $20 a year? Is that what we,
Commissioner Caldwell, there you go.
this will go, increase $20 a year for the next 3 years?
Hold on, there you go.
Yes, sir, that is correct. That is what the commission agreed to last year, to phase it at $20 increase per year.
All right. I'm a yes.
Commissioner Harriet?
Yes.
Commissioner Howington?
No.
Commissioner Nobbick?
Yes.
Commissioner Santiago?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Avila Vasquez?
Because this is such a critical project for the city, and if it does affect us during hurricane season, I will vote yes on this.
Mayor Avila?
Yes. Motion passes 6-1, correct? All right. We're going to go to section 7D as in David, which is a request for approval of resolution number 2026-58, establishing the maximum street lighting annual assessment rate. Go ahead, Vice Mayor.
Thank you, Mayor. So my question to this one is, I was asked, which lighting is this covering for the residents? Is this the lighting that people have, like a special post on their property, or is this for street lighting?
Please turn on your microphone.
If I could get IT, please, there it goes. It's only for these specific neighborhoods listed here that were covered. Perfect. Lucked out, it's a touchscreen, Mayor. It's only for these specific neighborhoods. It dictates the number of units affected and the anticipated rate per unit that will be assessed, for a total of $177,861.
But is it street lighting, or is it private home lighting where they have the lights in front of their homes? They have
It would, typically it's the decorative lighting. It's not the lights that you see on the power pole as you come to the intersection of Providence and Howland. It's not those lights. It's the ones in the individual private neighborhoods. Kensington Estate, Crystal Lake Estates, Timber Ridge, Johnson Court, or other neighborhoods or streets that have asked for a higher level of light, white-way lighting within their neighborhoods.
Just a quick point of order, just to remove confusion. This is being added because those property owners have asked for us to do that.
That is correct.
All right.
That is not citywide.
Thank you.
Commissioner Howington?
Thank you, Mayor. Yeah, that was my question as well. These are communities that have actually approached the city and have worked with the city to have the streetlight program in lieu of running one through an HOA, correct?
That is correct.
Okay, thank you so much.
Commissioner Harry, I apologize, I skipped you. Did you have anything to add before I go to the next commissioner?
No.
All right. Commissioner
No,
Nobbick?
I'm good.
These are the street lighting districts that were established by the neighborhoods at their request.
Commissioner Caldwell?
I'd like to make a motion.
Go ahead.
I'd like to make a motion to approve.
Second.
There's a motion by Commissioner Caldwell and a second by Commissioner Nobbick. Please have a verbal vote.
Commissioner Colwell?
Yes.
Commissioner Harriet?
Yes.
Commissioner Howington?
Yes.
Commissioner Nobbick?
Yes.
Commissioner Santiago?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Avila Vasquez?
Yes.
Mayor Avila?
Yes. All right. Next, we're going to go to section 7E as in Edward. Request for approval of resolution number 2026-59, establishing the maximum nuisance abatement annual assessment rate for fiscal year 2026-27. Vice Mayor Avila Vasquez.
Yes, the residents, well, the ones that contacted me, they want to know, how are you going to enforce this when there's so many animals that are being picked up in the streets and nobody knows where they're coming from?
Vice Mayor, this item is related to nuisance abatements. So these are costs that the city has incurred for abating a violation at a specific property, not for a code compliance, not a code compliance assessment generally.
Okay.
Commissioner Harriet, did you have anything to add or ask?
No, I'm good.
All right, Commissioner Caldwell, you're next.
This is just for the 3 properties mentioned in this ordinance, and it doesn't flow into any other possible properties?
Yes, sir, that's
Those will come
correct.
back to us if there's any additionals?
Yes, sir, that's correct. That would come back to you on an annual basis.
I make the motion to approve.
All right, there's a motion by Commissioner Caldwell. Commissioner Novick, you're up next.
Second.
Okay. We have a motion by Commissioner Caldwell and a second by Commissioner Novick. Vice Mayor, you have a question?
No.
Okay. Robo vote, please.
Commissioner Colwell,
Yes.
Commissioner Harriet,
Yes.
Commissioner Howington,
Yes.
Commissioner Novick,
Yes.
Commissioner Santiago,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Avila Vasquez,
Yes.
Mayor Avila.
Yes. This time, we're going to go to 7F as in Frank, request for approval, resolution number 2026-63, award ITB number 26023, lawn and landscaping services to Quality by Design to provide citywide lawn and landscaping services for various stormwater, water and wastewater plants, facility maintenance, parks and recreations, and fire department locations. Vice Mayor Avila Vasquez.
I had an question on this one, and then I was given the answer. My question was, did we give out, we have any more bidders on this contract?
You had
Other-
multiple bidders for this
I'm
contract,
sorry,
yes.
I-
Multiple bidders, yes.
Okay. And did you finalize to a certain number, or you just went down to one number?
We finalized Quality by Design is the low bid, and they were going to be awarded the contract, yes.
All right, thank you.
Commissioner Caldwell.
I'm trying to research the company. Are they local to this area?
They have offices throughout the state.
They're throughout
Yes.
state? Thank you.
All right, Commissioner Harriet, do you have anything to ask, or would you like to make a motion?
Nothing more.
Would you like to make a motion?
No.
All right, Commissioner Santiago.
I move to approve resolution number 2026-63, the award of ITB number 26023 to Quality by Design to provide lawn and landscaping services.
So motion by Commissioner Santiago, is there a second? Commissioner Novick.
Second.
There's a motion by Commissioner Santiago, second by Commissioner Novick. Did you have an additional question, Vice Mayor? No? All right, can we please do a verbal vote?
Commissioner Colwell,
No.
Commissioner Harriet,
Yes.
Commissioner Howington,
No.
Commissioner Novick,
Yes.
Commissioner Santiago,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Avila Vasquez,
Yes.
Mayor Avila.
Yes. Motion passes 5-2. All right. This time, we're going to go to section 7G as in go. Request for approval of the second quarter 2026 reports of city advisory boards and committees. Vice Mayor,
Yes, Mayor, I'll just make a motion to approve this one.
go ahead, please.
Second.
There's a motion by Vice Mayor Avila Vasquez, second by Commissioner Harriet. Verbal vote, please.
Commissioner Colwell, Commissioner Harriet,
Yes.
Commissioner Howington,
Yes.
Commissioner Novick,
Yes.
Commissioner Santiago,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Avila Vasquez,
Yes.
Mayor Avila.
Yes. Motion passes 6-1, correct?
No.
6, 7.
7-0, got it. All right. All right, we're going to go to section 7H as in house, request for recognitions. Vice Mayor Avila Vasquez.
Thank you, Mayor. I just needed a little bit of information on Faith and Freedom 250. If I can have I know it's a proclamation, I just,
I believe an organization sent out an email requesting, in celebration of the America celebrating 250th anniversary.
and this is local, somebody local,
That, yes, the local churches are doing that.
like a church. Okay, I make a motion to approve that.
There's a motion by Vice Mayor Avila Vasquez. Commissioner Harriet, did you want a second before I go to the next in line?
No.
Commissioner Howington, you're next.
I'll second.
Motion by Vice Mayor Avila Vasquez, second by Commissioner Howington. Commissioner Caldwell, you have a question?
No, I thought we
Okay.
were going to go for a vote.
Verbal vote, please.
Commissioner Caldwell?
Yes.
Commissioner Harriet?
Yes.
Commissioner Howington?
Yes.
Commissioner Novick?
Yes.
Commissioner Santiago?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Avila Vasquez?
Yes.
Mayor Avila?
Yes. Right, motion passes 7-0. All right. We're going to go to an addition, which would be considered item 7I, is an igloo for My Deltona magazine. Vice Mayor Avila Vasquez.
Oh, I didn't know it was on. That was an added agenda, right?
Yes.
Okay, so, you know, this magazine, what it does is it promotes our local businesses. It doesn't take anything from our residents. It did a great job last year. I know that on Deltona Boulevard, about 14 businesses got acknowledged, and that to them meant a lot because it told them that the residents of the city of Deltona are aware of where they are, and these are family sit-down restaurants and businesses. So I will make a motion to approve this.
There's a motion by Vice Mayor Avila Vasquez. Commissioner Harriet, would you like to make a second before I go to the next person?
No.
All right, Commissioner Novick, you're next.
Second.
There's a second by Commissioner Novick. Please do a verbal vote.
Commissioner Caldwell?
Yes.
Commissioner Harriet?
Yes.
Commissioner Howington?
No.
Commissioner Novick? Yes. Commissioner Santiago?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Avila Vasquez?
Yes.
Mayor Avila?
Yes. Motion passes 6-1. Correct? All right. This time, we're going to go into ordinances and public hearings. I'll have the city attorney read the ordinance, and then we will allow Commissioner Harriet to be the first to see if he wants to do along with everything else, to do a motion, and then we'll enter public comment and then discussion.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. This is ordinance number 14-2026, an ordinance of the City of Deltona, Florida, amending the general ordinances, Chapter 54, Special Assessments, to include Article 5, Fire Rescue Services, providing for conflicts, codification, severability, and an effective date.
Thank you so much. Commissioner Harriet, you're up first. At this time, we'll entertain a motion.
Thank you, Mayor. Over the weekend, I've had the chance and opportunity to speak with dozens of residents from not only District 1, but across the city. A lot of them expressed confusion with the information that was being discussed around this item. And after, lengthy discussion with many of them, the need for capital funding is definitely acknowledged, but a lot of them expressed concerns with the mechanism in which this item does that. So at this time, I'd like to make a motion to deny this item.
All right, there's a motion at this time by, hold on, please. There's a motion by Commissioner Harriet. Commissioner Santiago, you're next. We're looking for a second.
Second.
There's a second by Commissioner Santiago. We'll go to public comment, and then we'll go to the commission.
Pat Blodgett, please.
Am I hitting the blue light? Am I on? Okay. I say that we vote no. The residents can't afford this. Vote yes, and you might be replaced. It's not a threat. It's just these people can't afford it. And you are here for the people.
Guys, I know it upsets when I say don't clap, but we're trying to hear who's being called next, please.
Gail Barr, please.
I am opposed to creating a fire assessment fee, tax, or similar charge for Deltona residents. I believe this proposal would place an additional and unnecessary burden on our community and could cause more harm than benefit. My concern is that this assessment may provide limited benefit to some homeowners while creating additional costs for many longtime residents, such as me, who have supported Deltona for decades through their existing taxes. Residents who have lived in Deltona for many years deserve a fair and transparent approach to funding essential services. Adding another recurring assessment risks further increasing the financial pressure on households that have already contributed to the city over many years. I've been here for almost 40 years. There are also legitimate questions from the community regarding transparency, potential conflicts of interest, and whether this proposal has been fully evaluated in the best interest of all residents. These concerns should be addressed clearly before any new assessment is considered. I urge the City Commission to vote no on the fire assessment and to keep the fire services funded through the existing budget process. Once an assessment is created, it can be very difficult to remove. Deltona residents deserve fiscal responsibility, transparency, and a funding approach that does not create a permanent additional burden. Axe the tax, axe the mayor.
Ron Bennett, please.
All right, guys, if I have to keep telling you to please stop because we can't hear who they're calling next, the deputy's going to escort you outside. It's that simple.
Ron Bennett, please.
Hi, good evening. Do I have to push a button?
You just turned yourself up. There you go.
Hi, Ron Bennett, 2165 Lake Breezeway. I'm up here to say that I'm not against funding the fire department at all, but when I heard the amount of money that you're going to assess, $579 per house, I multiplied that out against approximately how many houses are in Deltona, and it came out to about $20 million. And the most current budget that I got off the internet, it was for fiscal 23-24. The fire department budget was $14 million, the actual. So I don't understand the delta, the difference of the $6 million that would be generated by that $579. In addition to that, this has to do with the DeSantis property tax pullback, and homestead exemption in this city is about 46%, and so that means more than half of the property is not going to be affected by this. And so I ran the numbers, and I said, what would be a good assessment if for some reason you didn't get all the funding that you needed? And it came out to be like $100 and some odd, based on a $14 million budget. Then I looked at your budget over the last 3 years. It went from $9 million in fiscal year 20 to 21. It was $9 million 8, all the way now to fiscal year 23-24 to $14 million. And I don't understand why there's such a huge increase. And so the whole idea is that it's not very transparent. And it just seems like it's always like a money grab. And I just ask you guys not to approve this until you guys have shown more information on what's going to happen with all of this money that you're going to generate. Because again, once this thing goes into effect, it's in effect forever. So anyway, thank you.
Mark Masterson, please.
Let's see. There we go. Mark Masterson, 1242 East Lombardy. I'm up here to talk about the fire fees and so on that they were saying about how much additional it might go to the taxpayers. My concern to that is not to see that the firefighters or police don't get their money. I know that the city has an allotment already, which the last gentleman was just saying about how many millions of dollars they have excessive each year. I was under the impression too that our wonderful governor, Mr. DeSantis, great man, is going to be taking away some property taxes. I think it's the greatest thing they could ever do around here. I believe also that there is chances for people to get, meaning our city, every city in this state is subject and is allowed to get a grant from the states, which was already brought up. Now, maybe that's not enough to cover the people and what you want to do. Probably not, because you want a lot of money. But my other thought would be, and I'm probably going to make some enemies on this one, I believe we have a 6.5% tax in the city of, or Volusia County. Why not raise it up to what Seminole County's paying, 7%? That money, this way you're not taking it just from homeowners. You're getting it from every single person who buys anything in this city or throughout anywhere else in the Volusia County area. So I just think, to a point, I just don't think that we should be paying more for fees on something that the city just decides, well, maybe we will, maybe this is all not even going to happen. It's not going to probably vote on it. But I just wanted to express my feelings on that. There are certain things, because I've been living here since 1986. I've seen Deltona go from one place to the other. People say that the city is no good. Well, I think the city has done pretty good, myself, I think, as far as certain things that have developed. Yeah, I think they've done pretty good in what they've been doing. Do they need to be more corrective on certain things that they do? Yes. Do they need to be watched by? Yeah. Does the government need to be watching over you people? Yes. Just like they have to watch over me. So just remember, Big Brother is always watching you guys. Thank you.
Howard Gelber, please.
Good evening. This firefighter fund, it's already in the general fund. You know it, we know it. All the people here, the seniors, like myself, wife, I know a lot of the people here, can't afford this. It's absolutely ridiculous. This is, to me, I mean, I'm originally from New York. I've been down here longer than I've been in New York. But to me, and I'm pretty much speaking for everybody, I think, this is like The Sopranos, man. This is like just taking money to take money. That's already there. There is absolutely no reason for this. And I know you'll probably cut me off. It's the same thing with the waste people. They're supposed to have garbage out at 6 a.m. They don't come till 1 on my block, and I have pictures to prove it. Half the time they don't pick the garbage up. They'll pick it up the next day. It's a travesty that you're taking money from seniors who are already on a fixed income. It's absolutely ridiculous, and I pretty much could speak for everybody here that this will affect. If this is voted on by you, you're not going to be here. You're done. Just telling you, not a threat, it's a promise. Have a good evening.
Christine
Ms.
Peacock,
Barr,
please.
Please. Ms. Barr, you're the first one to start. I'm asking you respectfully, we can't hear who's being called.
Good evening. I'm Christine Peacock, and I'm here to ask you not to pass the fire assessment. Not that I don't want to support our firefighters, because I do. I just think there's another way than that assessment. Because for long-standing residents like myself who've spent years paying off our homes, and now that's a heavy lift once a year. I know we're supposed to save a little bit every month, but I mean, you know, it's hard enough to keep up with things as it is. So another huge assessment once a year in addition to what's already there is a heavy lift. And so I have numerous ways I think the city could realize some savings, and I'd be happy to propose those in writing if you're interested. And also, I think that we could do this via the impact fees, because we've already got enough homes here. We're already way overdeveloped. We've got water problems. I've already spoken about that. The people that want to move here, you know, they can kind of pick up the load on that. I had something else I want to say. I kind of lost my train of thought. I'm sorry. I can't believe this. Anyway, I just think that it could be done via the impact fees, if we could do it that way, or through savings. And I guess I'll email you with what I had intended to say. I kind of lost my flow. Sorry.
Emily Helmberger, please.
Hello, Emily Helmberger, District 6 resident. Before I begin, I have to say it sure does feel like an election season. Judging by the conversations on this topic today, I'd say everyone's a little bit nervous, a lot nervous than when you guys voted to bring this to the dais. Hopefully that means we're all paying a little bit closer attention to the decisions that we're making. On a serious note, I'm here to speak about the proposed fire assessment fee. First, I want to say that I have tremendous respect for our firefighters and our EMTs, and they provide an essential service to our community, and I believe that they deserve competitive pay, proper staffing, and the resources that they need to do their jobs safely and effectively. My concern is not supporting public safety. My concern is with asking residents to take on another financial burden at a time when many are already struggling. Personally, I will be voting against the property state constitutional amendment regarding property taxes because I believe that it's just too vague. And before any major changes to how local governments are funded are made, Floridians deserve to see a clear, detailed plan explaining those changes and what that would mean for essential services. With that uncertainty already hanging over our local governments, I'm concerned that this proposed fire assessment feels like a reaction to an uncertain future rather than part of a well-defined long-term strategy. As someone who has owned my home here for about 1.5 years, this assessment would increase my housing cost, while roughly $13 a month may not sound like much, and it's something I can swing. It adds up to more than $150 a year. Combined with rising homeowners' insurance premiums and the increasing cost of everyday living, it's another expense that many families have to absorb. I lost my backwater and my flood because I'm not in a flood zone, but I'm scared I'm going to get flooded with how our stormwater is being, handled currently. And I encourage that this commission to provide residents with a comprehensive financial plan, explain why this assessment is necessary now, what alternatives were used and being considered, how the funds will be used, and how you will ensure accountability. Residents are more likely to support difficult financial decisions when they understand the reasoning behind them. Supporting our firefighters and respecting taxpayers are not opposing goals, and we should be able to do both though, through careful planning, transparency, and responsible budgeting. And you didn't like being threatened. Don't threaten the audience either. Thank you.
Kathy Gallagher, please.
Hi, Kathy Gallagher, Deltona. So I have high hopes that this ordinance will not pass. And Emma Santiago, this is the first time you and I have ever agreed on something. I think that's wonderful. So the harebrained idea of how it was to punish the long-term residents, like this new thing that you're distributing the assessment to be, is not the way to do it. You've got to find another answer for that. Just tell you this, like an extra $361.85 a year is like a 65% increase over the $561 ad valorem taxes. That affects about 7,000 residents. These are the long-term residents. And you break it down in a fancy graph and you say, well, it's only $30 a month. Well, my Social Security only increased $34 a month. So if I've saved $30, that $4, what does that cover? Does that cover all their exorbitant inflation things like insurance, food, groceries, gas? No, it doesn't. So I think that this is the wrong thing to do. We need to vote no on this and just do the right thing. Thank you so much.
David Sosa, please.
All right, David Sosa, and I'm going to say I do not support any new taxes, and that's exactly what this is. It is a new tax, and I can't believe you guys are actually bringing this up for a vote. Now, the governor said the people out here need tax relief. Our city commission said, hold my beer, let's increase the fire assessment fee up to almost $600. I don't think that's what the governor had in mind. I must say I'm very disappointed in every one of you up there that would support this. Okay, now what exactly is this fire assessment fee? I see some commissioners saying, hey, we're going to lower the millage rate, we might go to full rollback, but what did you do? You shifted the tax burden, is what you did. You shifted the tax burden from commercial and higher assessed properties to the folks that have been here 20, 30 years, that may have bought one of the original Mackle brother houses for $30,000. So now you want them, because they bought a $30,000 house back in 1970, you want them to pay the premium of a $500,000, $600,000 house. And that is not right. I know we're saying we're lowering property. You're not lowering anything. When you actually do the numbers, it doesn't add up. This is a shift in the tax burden, and you're penalizing the folks that can't afford it the most. You're attacking our senior citizens who already have a hard time choosing, do I eat today? Do I get my medication? Do I pay my electric bill? I remember, Dory, I believe you said one of our residents couldn't afford his electric bill, so he was cooking outside on a grill and he burned his house down. So these are the people you are attacking. And that's an exact what it is. It is an attack on the most vulnerable in our city. And you should be ashamed of yourselves if you support this. Now, as somebody said, this is already funded through the general fund. I believe the budget last year was $16 million for the fire department. I'm not sure what it is this year. I've yet to see a preliminary proposal for our budget. Hopefully that comes out soon. Now, there is, somebody also mentioned grants. Did we apply? I'd like a public records, Joyce. If we applied for the last fire grant that opened, I believe it was May 7th and closed at the end of June, did we apply for that? It was a $628 million grant from the state, which is, guess what, guys? Your tax money already. So instead of us getting that tax money and helping us build, you just want to charge us more taxes.
Matthew Borgens, please.
Who did you call? I apologize.
Matthew Borgens.
All right. Matthew Borgens, Deltona. I was able to hear my name even over the clapping. So I'm asking you not to move forward with the funding. Again, this is the city manager is already allowed to increase this based on the needs of the CPI. So as the needs go up for cost of living, he's allowed to move it. He's allowed to raise it. Unless he declines it. So that's already there. So you're allowing this to add to it. Again, the amount before you is $579 for each home. That's an estimated, rate, and it's the maximum. Once you move it over, you can't take it away. So you can keep increasing it. The study that was put out last week was $14 million, and with this over 1 year, it's going to raise it to $28.1 million. That's almost double. Residents will carry almost 83% of the cost. Every home will pay the same amount no matter what it's worth. So the smaller, cheaper homes will pay the same as the more expensive ones, especially if your father-in-law or father gave it to you. The larger warehouses, like Amazon, they have a cap. So they're capped at what they pay. Some people that rent here, they may not pay the same, but again, Amazon is capped on how much they pay, so you're not charging it. I think, Mayor, you said that you want to put this more on businesses, but now you're putting it on the residents. So you're taking it away from the businesses to pay for our taxes and what's here for the city and putting it back on the residents. This puts more pressure on working families, seniors, and people living on a fixed income. You're going after seniors, you're going after veterans. That's what this is doing. This is going after the vulnerable people. And most of them won't even say anything because that's what they're used to. The resolution also says the city will still use city money. So we're still using the city money plus this, so that's almost double dipping. So the residents will pay a new fee and still pay for fire through other taxes or other means. Unless the city shows a real dollar-for-dollar tax cut, this is not just moving money, it's another charge. It's another fee to add on to everything. The fee can also be risen with inflation. It would not be placed on property. It would be placed on property taxes. And then also the city can put a lien on people's properties. And then you can foreclose on those properties, whether it's moved over or not. So you can foreclose and take people's properties away. That's not what what residents want. Fire protection is a basic city service, and we should keep it, but it should be looked at. Thank you.
Kathy Bryan, please.
Good evening, Kathy Bryan. I don't think I'm going to say anything anybody else hasn't. Obviously, we love our fire department. I just don't see the need for a rush. First, I know there's a lot of things you guys want to do. I know you need new firehouses, you want to get new trucks, you need a place to put the trucks, etc. But I don't think we need to do it with the speed that it seems like we want to do this with. I think we could back off a little bit. The other thing is that people talk about expensive houses versus less expensive houses. What about houses that are a higher risk because they're 10 feet apart? There's all kinds of things you could look at when it comes to doing this assessment, but whether the property tax bill gets voted on or, to pass, which it probably will, but to go ahead and just add on this much to everybody's tax bill is adding insult to injury, frankly. And frankly, I'd like to see our fire department work on national accreditation, which they don't have. A lot of the firefighters around counties around Central Florida do. Why have national accreditation? Because then you're ensuring you're doing best practice management. You're doing the things that everybody's doing at a national level. You bring the ease of moving state to state around. Hospitals are nationally accredited. Do you not want your first responders to be as well? I know you would argue with me about this, and that's okay. But I'm just saying, if you're gonna spend money, let's do it right. Thank you.
Ryan Hendry, please.
All right. Good evening, Mayor and Dias. All right, everybody's talking about how much it's going to increase. My tax bill, I pay $566 a month from my mortgage goes to my tax bill to this city. All right, so let that sink in. You want to add another $500 a year to where I can afford a house in the Keys on my tax bill. My tax bill, I could literally pay for an $800,000 house in the Keys is equivalent to the tax bill in this city. But I wrote something. All right, as a voting resident of this city, a U.S. Navy veteran, a father of an active duty sailor, a mentor to two best friends that are active duty as well, one currently deployed on the USS Bush, the other who just returned from deployment on the USS Ford, a year floating, that all graduated from Deltona High. They're 19-year-old young men, seem to have a better understanding of what oath compared to some of the members of this dais. Remember December 16th, 1773, our forefathers were revolted against tyranny and refused taxation without representation. That led to the Constitution and the laws we have today. Some of you seem to have forgotten your oath of office. Some of you seem to have forgot who you work for, which is everyone here that put you in the seat there. The majority of the people that are demanding that you table this vote until the homestead exemption, we see if it passes and gets to 60% or if it's declined. Our population hasn't voted on it yet. We need to slow down. We need to stop the spending. We at home have to tighten our budget. You need to tighten your budget. Furthermore, mayor, city attorney, city manager, y'all need to get your house under control. We have certain members of this dais on social media utilizing their commission tag, airing laundry in the elected capacity and going after other members of the dais, going after members of the community. If you don't want your personal life aired to public, keep your mouth shut. We have a saying in the Navy, loose lips sink ships. All right? If this continues to happen on social media and you can't keep it under control, I'll be forced to file CE Form 50 with evidence that's been collected, documented.
Thank you.
Stop making the city a slum.
Brandy White, please.
Brandy White, Deltona. I don't want to repeat what everybody said. We've had a lot of great conversation, both in person and online over the last week. I know I got a lot of flack from some of you up there and some of you who are not here about having this discussion online and openly letting the residents know that this was being discussed. But I did so because what I found when I came to the budget meeting was that nobody had been discussing this, and that it was the first time many people were actually hearing about it was during that meeting. And you know, I feel it's something that a lot of residents need more understanding on why we do this process and how it's supposed to work. And if we're not getting that information from you guys, you leave it to us residents to have to do that. And I don't regret it. I don't regret sharing that information, and I'll continue to do so. One of my things that I discussed that I was concerned about, obviously, is, like everybody said, the shift of the burden. But on top of that, there were some other things that I was concerned about. Not that I didn't understand the need that was broken down in there, but there was definitely no protections from it rising after that 5 years. There was no sunset clause, which, again, with assessments, I need to research that a little more to see if we can even do that in an assessment, because I don't believe you can. So as long, I hear that it's going to be not created tonight, but I implore you guys to take the stance that it won't be created at all, right? Because what we know and what we're hearing is there's an election and people are scared to lose their seats if they vote the wrong way. That only protects the residents till November. That doesn't stop any one of you coming back and bringing this up again next year when there's not seats at stake. And so that's also something I think people should be aware of and kind of keep in mind is where you guys stood before the public outrage. Let's see. The other thing I wanted to discuss is I was a little confused why I saw the TV stations continuously air that this has to do with November's property tax initiative, when at that meeting it was clearly stated it is not relevant whatsoever and not tied to that whatsoever. So I'm just curious how they got that information and why that was perceived to the public to be the case. Again, just something that was kind of concerning to me. Again, I also heard that we were going to offset it in the millage. Again, something people need to look at our history and see that that doesn't always equate. What then happens is it's like the next year it's like, oh, look, we have a low millage, so we can raise it. So then we're just getting hit again in a different way. So I appreciate hearing that this isn't going to pass tonight and we can put this discussion to bed. But I, for one, am not going to be duped in believing it's off the table forever.
Courtney Cross Burgos, please.
Courtney Cross Burgos. I kind of echo what Brandy says. I was a little concerned here that it's not going to be able to be capped like our current homestead is. I've been here, well, I've owned a home in Volusia County almost 25 years, and my taxes are ridiculous, and I'm homesteaded. But what concerns me is when I first heard this, I thought it would supplement whatever we might lose through the property tax. But now I find out that that's not the case. What we're asking for here is almost $25 million to build new fire stations and remodel other ones. If that's correct, then definitely we need to vote no on this for right now, put a pin on it and bring it back after we see what it's going to cost us to replace, if the property tax goes through, what it's going to cost us to replace the fire department and the police department and all the other services that we would lose the tax money for, because we're going to have to make that up somehow. So if we have to make that up, we definitely can't afford another $25 million or $20 million or whatever the final number is but build new fire stations. And I love Chief Snyder, and he seems very nice, the new chief. It has nothing to do with not wanting the fire department to have what it needs, like other people have said. We need them. We need them desperately. But I can't build a new addition to my house right now because I can't afford it. Well, we can't afford to build 5 new fire stations or remodel things because we can't afford it right now. Put a pin in this at least until after November and see where we fall there and how we're making up any deficit if that is what happens. And if we don't have the deficit, then we can look and see. Because I understood it to be $17 million this year is already budgeted for the fire department. So they're covered right now, at least basically. Oop, I'm hitting buttons. So it's just concerning that I heard one of the commissioners say, we don't want the tax burden on all the young couples. Well, I understand that. We have young people in my family too, and we don't. But then again, they can go to work and make overtime. They can invest money early. They can do all kinds of stuff. Where at this age, we're already done. What we have coming in is coming in, and there's no way to really make anything up unless all of us over 60, well, I'm 65 next month. But anyway, everybody that's a senior, are we all going to go back and get jobs to make up this? I mean, I don't know. I don't know what kind of jobs you're going to find for us, but be careful what you do. Have a good evening.
Mayor, there were some people who potentially wrote down that they wanted to speak on 9A when they meant this one. So if I could call them and if they would just let me know. Christy Leonard.
Hi, my name is Christy Leonard. I'm a District 5 homeowner. I have been here since 1989. I have never seen a fire fee in Deltona since 1989. And my question is, I've seen on the news that they talk about Deltona, they talk about New Smyrna Beach with the fire fees coming up. And I don't hear if DeLand has them or Volusia County has them or any of that. So I don't understand why we are going to go to $579 right off the bat when I've been in Deltona since 1989 and nothing has happened. So that's it. I'm a no on the fire fee.
Matilda Morabito, please.
Matilda Morabito, I'm here to request that you vote no. My reason is I, too, am a senior citizen.
Matilda, could you speak a little closer to the microphone? Thank you.
That is quite a lot of money to be asking of other people to put on their new tax. And also, how I would propose it is look at the total budget. We're going to look at what we need and what we want. And we should take care of our needs. I agree with that much of it, but we better look at our wants. We don't need a lot of this fluff that we're putting into the budget. Thank you.
John B., please.
Evening. I'm John Bruneller. I've been here 40 years.
John, can you lift your microphone, please? Thank you.
I could speak for hours, as some of you know, but I have three things to say. No new taxes, no new taxes, and no new taxes. It's as simple as I can put it. All the reasons have already been given. Thank you.
That ends public comment.
Okay. We have a motion on the floor by Commissioner Harriet. There's a second by Commissioner Santiago, so I'm going to call the vote. Commissioner Nabik?
Can you have the clerk reread the motion, please?
Yes.
The motion's to deny this item.
All right, so I've called the vote, so we're going to go ahead with a verbal vote. Commissioner Caldwell, I know you clicked on it, but I'm calling for the vote, so.
Commissioner Caldwell.
Yes to deny.
Commissioner Harriet.
Yes to deny.
Commissioner Howington.
Yes to deny.
Commissioner Nabik.
Yes to deny.
Commissioner Santiago. Yes to deny. Vice Mayor Vila Vasquez.
Yes to deny.
Mayor Vila.
Yes. Motion to deny. Trying to finish this up. Motion to deny, it passes 7-0. Okay.
Mayor, I have a question. For Zach, what happens to now action 9A? Do we need to take, can we just pull that at this point?
Yeah, so for 9A, you all could take a vote to delete that from the agenda at this point.
I'll make that motion. Mayor.
I'll make a motion to second.
All right, there's a motion by Commissioner Nabik, second by Commissioner Harriet. It's just a simple, right? A simple majority vote?
Correct.
All right. All those in favor to remove it, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those
Aye.
opposed? All right. Item 9A's and alpha is removed. All right, at this time, we're going to go to section 8B as in boy. If I can please have the city attorney read it.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, this is ordinance number 02-2026, an ordinance of the City of Deltona, Florida, amending the general ordinances, Chapter 66, Traffic and Vehicles, to update regulations related to micromobility devices in accordance with Florida statutes, providing for conflicts, codification, severability, and an effective date. This is second and final reading.
Thank you. At this time, we'll go to Commissioner Harriet first, and then I'll go to Commissioner Novick, who's next up. So Commissioner Harriet, I'm entertaining a motion at this time.
Thank you, Mayor. I'll put up the Novick.
Commissioner Novick.
I make a motion to approve ordinance number 022026, amending Chapter 65, Chapter 66, Traffic and Vehicles, establishing regulations regarding micromobility devices at second and final reading.
Commissioner Howington.
I'll second.
All right, there's a motion by Commissioner Novick, second by Commissioner Howington. All right, is there any public comment?
Matthew Borkins, please.
Mr. Morgan, if you can just click on the request to speak. There you go.
Matthew Borgens, Deltona. I think Courtney said it earlier, you know, if we're saying our name and everything, I don't know why we have to not show our faces. But with Chapter 66, I think this is great for the vehicles added into it, but we're piecing a lot of this together. So we're taking part of 66 out. We worked on it. Now we're putting this part 66 in. We have an ordinance committee. Let them work on this and put it all together. This is second reading. I think this is good to pass. But like I said, we have an ordinance committee. Let's utilize them. That's all I have to say. Thanks.
Kathy Bryan, please.
Good evening, Kathy Bryan, what he said. Honestly, I looked through that and I don't think it's meaty enough, frankly. There's nothing in there about helmets. There's, you know, following the rules of the road, there's a couple of specific items about that. Have we worked with the sheriff's office to make sure it can be enforced? And make sure that they're not writing these things where other motorized vehicles aren't allowed. And I know somebody recently posted something about it, you know, the kids flying by him. And a lot of people poo-pooed him about it. Well, let them, you know, something happens, then they'll find out. But what if something happens and it's not the child, it's somebody else that they have to live through with the rest of their lives? There's a whole lot more that can be done in this than what's there. I'm glad we're doing it, don't get me wrong, but I think we need to do more. Thank you.
That ends public comment.
Commissioner Harriet, do you have anything to add? If not, I'm going to go to Vice Mayor Avila Vasquez.
I've got a question for legal, and the question is, does this meet the requirements, the requirements of state law?
Yes.
To bring our policy into compliance with state law?
Yes, this is adopted pursuant to the bill that was passed in the 2025 legislative session authorizing local governments to adopt ordinances regulating micromobility devices.
Thank you.
Vice Mayor Avila Vasquez.
Thank you, Mayor. I have a question also for legal. I know that we've gone through this, and I know there were some questions about ADA. Does this apply to ADA as well?
Yes, Vice Mayor, we specifically drafted, if you turn to the last page of the ordinance, we have sub-item 7, ADA usage. Nothing in this section shall be construed to prohibit or restrict the use of assisted mobility devices by individuals with disabilities on any sidewalks, bicycle paths, and public roadways or pathways. This section shall be enforced in a manner consistent with the Americans with Disabilities Act and 28 CFR Part 35, Title II of the ADA.
Thank you. I know everybody likes to hear your voice. That's why I wanted you to repeat it. Thank you.
Zach, could you give me the luxury of knowing, did our ordinance review committee go through this?
No, Mayor, they did not review this. This was adopted on first reading prior to the ordinance review committee being convened.
Would there be some type of a conflict for them to review it and have it brought back to us?
If the commission would like to make that motion to have it reviewed.
I know there's currently a motion on the floor, so I'll wait for the motion unless the maker of the motion would like to retract it. But we have an ordinance, that's the whole reason I asked for us to have an ordinance review committee. So if the ordinance, the person that did the motion on here, if you'd like to retract it, and the person that did the second, that would be great.
Mayor, I'd like to get this on the books, and I have no problem with, once it's on the books, that it goes to ordinance review for furtherance, but I think we need to get something on the books immediately.
Got it. Can we do something
Mayor.
time certain, though? Because I don't want us to wait.
You put it on the review committee tomorrow.
Okay.
Mayor,
Go ahead, Commissioner Harriet.
is the ordinance review committee already looking at something else within Chapter 66? I guess the question's really for staff or for legal.
So the Ordinance Review Committee will be looking at Chapter 66. The consultant that you all have retained to conduct that drafting will be presenting it to the Ordinance Review before it comes back to the Commission.
Okay, so this will be included in that?
We can.
Okay, thank you.
All right, Commissioner Novick, finish your.
I just want to get something on the books before the start of the school year.
Got it. You're good?
Yeah.
All right, Commissioner Howington.
Thank you, Mayor. I agree with Commissioner Nabik in that we need to get something on the books. This has been out there for 6 to 8 months, so we need to move forward. As I believe Kathy Bryan had stated, we probably could have some more teeth in it. That's something that could probably be brought before the ordinance committee to see if maybe there's a way that we can make this more robust and potentially to meet our residents' needs further beyond what we have here. So I'd still like to see us get something on the books tonight.
All right, this time I'm going to call the vote. If we can please do the verbal vote.
Commissioner Caldwell?
So we're all agreed that it's going to go before the Ordinance Review Committee on the next meeting, which is, I think, next 2 weeks.
So there's a meeting tomorrow night.
There is
I don't
tomorrow?
think we'll add it. I don't think we'll add it to that meeting, but we'll for the following month.
So the condition of the motion is that it'll be before the review committee. I'm a yes then.
Commissioner Harriet?
Yes.
Commissioner Howington?
Yes.
Commissioner Navik?
Yes.
Commissioner Santiago?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Avila Vasquez?
Just a quick question. So once we approve this today, we can always later on make changes and additions?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, I say yes.
Mayor Avila?
Yes. Motion passes 7-0. This time we're going to go to section 7C, public hearing. If I can please have the city attorney read it.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, this is ordinance number 15-2026, an ordinance of the City of Deltona, Florida, amending the City of Deltona Code of Ordinances, Chapter 14, Animals, to provide regulations related to the abandonment of animals and enhance penalties for the same in accordance with Florida statutes, providing for conflicts, codification, severability, and an effective date. This is an ordinance on first reading. Actually, Commissioner Harriet had made a motion at a previous commission meeting directing city staff to look at providing for enhanced penalties for abandonment. And in this past legislative session, there was actually a state bill that allowed that to happen. So this has been drafted in accordance with the state bill and would have an effective date of October 1st in accordance with the effective date of that House bill.
Thank you. We'll go with Commissioner Harriet since he's online. Did you want to, at this time, we'll entertain a motion?
Absolutely, Mayor. Thank you guys for working with me on this. When it came up a few months ago, the city attorney's office has done a phenomenal job drafting this ordinance and keeping it in line with the state statute. So I would just ask everybody to continue that support and make a motion to approve ordinance number 15-2026, animal abandonment with enhanced penalties.
All right, there's a motion by Commissioner Harriet. Commissioner Howington, you're next.
I'll second.
And Commissioner Howington will second it. Is there any public comment?
Christine Peacock, please.
Commissioner Caldwell, after public comment, I'll come to you first. Okay. Ms. Peacock, if you can turn on the microphone or the request to speak, and I'll turn on the microphone.
Yes, I would like to see something done about these abandoned animals because they seem to end up at my house. and it's not funny because I'm living on less than $1,000 a month, and neighbors move, renters move, and they leave their animals behind. They show up at my house, just bones, skin on bones. Another time, somebody must have thrown a sack of cats in the yard. I smelt death for over a week, and then a cat showed up with its whole tail filleted open. And then another one showed up with the clipped ear. Somebody's picked up 2 of the cats, but I still have 10. And that's a heavy load to feed all those animals. I can't take them to animal control because they're not tame. They'll be put down, they'll be killed, and they're sweet animals. They're very afraid. But people are leaving their pets behind or dropping them off where they think, oh, that looks like a good place for them to live. And then people like myself end up, you know, doing what we can. And so it would be nice to see something done about this.
That ends public comment.
All right, at this time I'll call for a verbal vote so we can enter a motion to extend the meeting, please. Go ahead.
Commissioner Caldwell?
Yes.
Commissioner Harriet?
Yes, Mayor, I'd have a comment after this one as well.
Commissioner Howington?
Yes.
Commissioner Nabek?
Yes.
Commissioner Santiago?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Vila Vasquez?
Yes.
Mayor Vila?
Yes. Motion passes 7-0. At this time, I'd like to request a motion to extend the meeting.
Why?
The
It's 8:30. We got a half hour.
That's fine. This time it's my turn, correct?
You're good. You're drinking the same Kool-Aid she's drinking.
No. All right, we're going to go into,
Mayor,
go ahead, Commissioner Harriet.
on that last item, Ms.
Mind you,
Peacock
point
made
of order, you just said you didn't have any more comments, but go ahead.
Thank you for reminding me. I did. Ms. Peacock reminded me that, enforcement of this really hinges on us driving home that animals need to be microchipped and have, tags and collars on them. And I want to call attention to the fact the city of Deltona has done a phenomenal job of providing microchip clinics for free of charge. It's very inexpensive for the city to pay for, and we offer it free to residents to get their animals microchipped.
Thank you. This time, we're going to go enter into section B as in boy. If I can please have the city attorney read the resolution.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, this is resolution number 2026-60, a resolution of the City Commission of the City of Deltona, Florida, adopting a proposed operating millage rate of ad valorem taxation for the 2026-2027 fiscal year, determining the rolled-back rate, authorizing a public hearing and directing provision of notice thereof, providing for scrivener's errors and an effective date.
All right, I'm going to take a point of privilege before I go to Commissioner Harriet. The plan is to go to full rollback, correct? Can we just not set it at the full rollback so we don't confuse our residents, please? Go ahead, Mr. McKinney.
Good evening, Mayor. Again, it's staff recommendation to go to 6.7000 as the maximum millage. What that does is, for some unforeseen reason, state revenues come in less than anticipated, et cetera, then if we did have to raise it above the rollback rate, then by setting it at 6.7, we would not have to send out a letter to each individual parcel owner notifying them that there's a change in the trim notice.
Respectfully, I understand that, and I've been very consistent the last 4 years that I want to see it get reduced, right? So in order to prevent any confusion, if that's the route we're going anyways, let's just set it at where we're going to do it and just keep moving. That way we're more efficient.
Yep.
And then if we do have to send out a new trim notice, I'll take the full blunt of it. I'm okay with that. So at this time, I'll entertain a motion. I'll start with Commissioner Harriet.
If they're going to rollback, then we need to take a short recess. I've got to redo the...
Commissioner Harriet?
Thank you, Mayor. I'll let somebody else. I'll support it, but I'll let somebody else make that motion.
All right, go ahead, Mr. McKinney.
If you want to set the maximum millage, Mayor, at the rollback rate, then I will need to go and run the numbers to give you what the official reading is for the increase, decrease.
Okay, let's see if there's a motion to do that, and if there is, we'll take a 5-minute recess, or
Yes, sir.
however time you need. So Commissioner Nabik, you're next.
Thank you, finally. Been lit up here for, I make a motion that resolution number 202660, we set the maximum millage rate for the rollback rate of the 6.49.
Second.
There is a motion by Commissioner Nabik. Commissioner Harriet
Second.
makes a second. At this time, Mr. McKinney, how much time do you need?
5 minutes.
All right, we'll do a 10-minute recess. If we can please start the timer at that.
Without It's live, the camera's on me, and David's like,
Click on your mic. My timer just went off, so you did it just in 10 minutes. Okay, great. So before you get started, Commissioner Novick wanted to rectify for the record go ahead, Commissioner Novick.
Yeah, I want it to be, Joyce, it's for the rollback rate, which actually is 6.4948, correct? Okay, 6.4948 is the rollback rate.
All right, Mr. McKee, your microphone's now on.
Mayor, I have confirmed that at 6.4948, at that rollback rate, that would be a 0% increase over the current year taxes.
Perfect. Do we have any public comment? We have a motion by Commissioner Novick and a second by Commissioner Harriet or Commissioner Davidson.
Matthew Borgens, please.
I don't see him here.
Courtney Cross Burgos, please.
Somebody can, not trying to tell the residents what to do, but I know we have residents outside, so.
Those
She's
are the
not
only
here.
two.
Those are the only two comments? All right, Commissioner Howington, sorry, Commissioner Harriet, do you have any other comments before I go to Commissioner Howington?
No, sir.
No. All right, go ahead, Commissioner, or sorry, Courtney Cross Burgos, for your public comment, and then I'll.
And it wasn't government news. Oh, that's what I said. This is government news, I guess.
And for the record, Mr. Burgos is here as well, so. All right, go ahead, Courtney, can you, there you go.
There we go. My question about the millage was, we don't have the line item budget yet, which I know you said was going to be August, so I don't know how we're definitely figuring this out yet. And I'd like to know more about the, if the property tax doesn't pass and the assessment doesn't pass, where this leaves us. I think you did have a little graph in one of your presentations, but I'm still a little confused. So I don't know, you know, one of you guys have told me, well, the millage is going to go back and that's going to lower your stuff. And I don't know, I just don't see it. So I'm still a little bit confused and I'm not sure why we're voting on it yet. I thought we needed a little more information on it before we actually voted on it. Well, you voted on it, but anyway, that's all I've got to say.
Matthew Borgens.
Sorry about that. I seen the one for the 66, and I thought this was after that. Kind of like everybody else is saying with the millage. I don't see why, you know, if we're talking about everything else, why we're not lowering our millage. Again, if we're moving things over, that's all we're doing. So if you reduce it, that doesn't really reduce it if you're then now putting the other taxes everywhere else. So I would say, again, you know, I think the city manager has done a great job on reducing a lot of things. I think, you know, you go line by line and really do that. I think your staff has done great. I think if we can keep it up and find where we can keep cutting, I think that'd be great. Like I said, tighten the belt. But I think the city has been doing great if we can keep that there. So that's all I have to say. Thank you.
That is public comment.
Commissioner Howington.
Thank you, Mayor. So I am appreciative that we are setting trim at the rollback rate. But going back to last year, our rollback rate would have been 6.5494 in the prior year. We ended up at 6.7 because $1 million was added for the moratorium lawsuit. And then we also had the Amazon payback of approximately $500,000. That would leave us with about $1.5 million that would be built into this current rollback of the 6.4948. So I'd like to challenge staff to come back with even less than 6.4948, given the fact that, as our residents have stated, many people have come back and said that there's fluff. And based on that $1 million lawsuit that never came to fruition, as well as the Amazon give back, there is fluff in there that we need to be accounting for. And I'd also like to go back, and I had asked for the table of the Amazon repayments, which I have not seen yet. But I don't know that that's ever been factored in when we were giving them back 900,000 and then it rolled down to 750. So I don't know if that was ever accounted for in each of the subsequent years when we reduced the millage rate. So I'd like to make sure that that was also accounted for, to make sure that we're just not building fluff into these numbers.
Yes, ma'am. The repayment on the tax increment was built into the budget as an expense in your non-departmentals every year.
Right.
Because we received it from the Amazon through the tax collector, and we had to cut a check for it. So in order to cut the check, I had to have an approved line item to cut it against.
Right. Well, I just want to make sure that we are accounting for everything. And just because we had fluff, we should be able to come in below that 6.4948 target. So I'd really like for staff to take a look at that as we move through the next few months.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
All right, seeing that nobody else
Mayor.
is. Go ahead, Commissioner Harriet.
I'd also like to ask staff if they could evaluate the additional cost for the land purchase next to the center and the settlement of that lawsuit when they do that analysis.
All right. At this time, I'm going to go ahead and call for the vote. So can we please do a verbal vote?
Commissioner Colwell,
Yes.
Commissioner Harriet,
Commissioner
Yes.
Harriet?
Commissioner Howington,
Yes.
Commissioner Nobik,
Yes.
Commissioner Santiago,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Vila Vasquez,
Yes.
Mayor Vila.
Yes. Motion passes 7-0. All right. This time, we're going to go into Section C. If I can please have the city attorney read the resolution.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, this is resolution number 2026-61, a resolution of the City of Deltona, Florida, authorizing the city manager or his designee to identify and locate properties suitable for conservation and pursue grants and other funding opportunities for the acquisition of property within the City of Deltona for conservation purposes, providing for adoption of recitals, implementation, severability, conflicts, and an effective date.
Thank you so much. At this time, I'll entertain a motion. I'll start with Commissioner Harrington, and then I'll move to Commissioner Santiago, who's next after that. Go ahead, Commissioner Harrington. Harriet.
I'm not sure whether to take offense to that or not, but I'll make a motion to approve.
There's a motion by Commissioner Harriet, and Commissioner Santiago, you're next.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Santiago. Is there any public comment?
Kathy Bryan, please.
Commissioner Nobik, I'll come to you right after public comment. Ms. Bryant, it's not here. Is there any, who's next?
David Sosa, please.
Mr. Sosa, when you get to the podium, can you press on the request to speak?
Okay. First of all, my name is David Sosa. I'm a former member of the Volusia Forever Conservation Board. I am all about conservation. However, looking at this, I can't find any details describing how we're going to do this. Now, I don't understand why we want to go and create something that's already in existence. A lot of these properties, all you have to do is identify the property and you submit it to the Volusia Forever Board, and they will take care of everything. There is a lot of legwork that goes into these types of acquisitions. You have Volusia Forever, you have Florida Forever, you have the Alachua Land Trust, you have Conservation Florida. We have all these organizations, And all you have to do is tell staff, hey, I see this property off of Reed Ellis. We need to put these 200 acres in conservation. Or I see this property off of Collins Road. We need to put it in conservation. And if you can make your case as to why it needs to be in conservation and show that it's some kind of wildlife corridor. I believe the wildlife corridor, according to the state, has already started shifting west from the east. So these are things we need to look into. Just to say, yes, we're going to give the city manager the okay to start buying land in the name of conservation, there's nothing here. I tried to look for all kinds of information about what was going to happen to this property. How are we going to pay for this property? I can tell you right now, land acquisition, even for conservation, is very costly. We're talking about fire assessment fees. Conservation land, we just, the Volusia County just spent, I think, $21 million for 11,000 acres off of Maytown Road, which would be perfect for a lot of the properties coming this way because you've already got conservation properties going all up and down 415. To add these to it, now the city can do what? To make sure they get money from Volusia Forever. Volusia Forever could do two things. Now, it can acquire these properties. It can do the management of these properties. Therefore, we don't have the expense every year for maintaining these properties. Because just because you call it conservation doesn't mean you just buy it and it sits there. There's still maintenance and land management that needs to be done. That all needs to be factored in. I saw nothing in here that said that. The biggest thing I would do is direct your city manager to reach out to Volusia Forever staff, give them the addresses of the properties that you wanted to see into conservation. I could think of at least 6 of them that are left in Deltona that need to be conserved, and let them do it and have the city be a partner with them. Thank you.
Tim Blodgett, please.
Okay. I understand that, we're talking about preliminary here, and there's a lot more that goes into it than simply saying, okay, I want that, and that's all there is to it. If the problem with these organizations like Volusia Forever, we found out recently that forever means whenever we decide not to start doing it. And that really sucks. Because, I voted for that years ago to make money available to go to things like Volusia Forever. So I think this was an idea more to localize it and have it under the control of Deltona. Well, that would be great. So what will we do with that? Will we just become a microcosm of what is being done with others? If we have to come up with a plan and compete with other people for monies to conserve land, we have to wait in line. If we do it ourselves, we can wait in line, and we can also move ahead. So we get the best of both worlds. I'd like to make absolutely sure that if we go ahead with this, I'd be all for it. Tax the houses, tax the gas, tax the, put a 0.5 cent tax on groceries or whatever, just so we could get the money to conserve land here before we turn into a swamp city like so many others around us are. Now, I'd like it understood that it will be forever. And we're not going to be giving the land away as a giveaway or a gimme or a favor, or we're going to be pointing it out for an eminent domain court hearing. And those would be my my recommendations for that. And tell that Iron Maiden lady that I may have taken words out of context. Have a good night, folks.
Christine Peacock, please.
Well, I do remember David doing some important things, protecting some environmentally sensitive land, and I'm forever grateful to that. and I'm very interested in that kind of thing also. I've got over 40 years experience with marketing communications and multidiscipline design, and some of that is in environmental design. And I would like to donate some of my time toward this effort. That's all I'm saying. So I don't know who to reach out to, but I would like to invest some time and effort into that. That's all.
That ends public comment.
Commissioner Novick.
Thank you, Mayor. So when I came back on the commission in October, one of the projects that staff got me up to date on was the Keep Deltona Wild initiative that my predecessor for District 6, I guess, got that ball rolling with the rest of the commission, and we hired a consultant, and the consultant put together and identified some properties out in the District 6 area. D Ranch area was one of those. That one is checked. That box is checked. That's there. That's done. And so the next one that came up was this Collins Road area. It's an area identified as commonly referred to as the pit. That general area there. And so I've met with the residents out there, and they're very much interested in trying to preserve that area. And I came to you a couple meetings ago and just asked for consensus that we could start to move that forward. Well, that next step of moving it forward is this resolution that's authorizing the city manager to start the conversations that Mr. Solsa talked about. Start talking to Volusia Forever, start talking to the people out there, start talking to the landowners, and see if there's interest in doing this. This is not a take. There's got to be interest of the landowner to sell the property. And so this resolution is the formal marching orders, if you will, for the manager and staff to bring this second property from the Keep Deltona Wild vision to move that forward. So that's what we're asking for tonight.
Just to further add a little bit to that, we had originally made a motion at my request to look at some type of, and I'll go to you, Commissioner Caldwell, you weren't lit up before, to do some type of similar thing as to Volusia Forever that we initially talked about, which we got consensus from the dais, to furthermore to add deed restrictions and stuff of that nature to make sure that the land in the future doesn't get sold off or anything crazy like that. But to the point that Commissioner Novick had made, it was more of the idea of localized control, seeing that in many areas we're losing that. So that was the thought process to that. Because to many people's points, we wanted, if we're going to conserve it, we want to make sure it's not coming back for some type of referendum or some type of vote or some type of switch. So this is essentially the marching orders and see what they come back with. And then if the commission feels, after hearing from their constituents, that it's not a good play, then we don't move forward. So Commissioner Caldwell, go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to be,
after Caldwell, I've got comments too.
Gotcha.
I just want to be clear that the three areas that were in discussion are the Reed Ellis, Collins, and Fishhawk, and this doesn't expand to other areas?
Oh, it could.
Sure. I'll let the city attorney talk, but I believe in our discussion shortly, we did say it could.
Yeah, so the resolution does direct the manager to look at properties citywide. So as part of tonight's discussion, if members of the commission would like to make suggestions for additional areas to look at, you may do so and provide that direction to the manager.
So that's why I want to be clear on it, that it will come back to the commission if there's other areas identified. And
yes, and any property purchase or allocation of funds will come back to you all.
Okay, thank you.
Commissioner Harriet, and then Vice Mayor Avila Vasquez.
Thank you, Mayor. Along those same lines that Caldwell brought up, when Commissioner Lully had originally brought up the idea of Keep Deltona Wild, there were quite a few areas of District 1 that were also included in that.
Point of
so
order,
I just would like to
Commissioner
make
Harriet.
sure.
I apologize. Now we are at time, so Can we get a motion to
I'll make a
extend?
motion to extend the meeting for 5 minutes.
It's 15-minute decibels or
15-minute
Is there a second? Second. Can we do a simple majority vote? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Go ahead.
That there were a few areas, very key areas that were located in District 1 that are currently undeveloped and are key areas really for stormwater management. And so I just want to make sure that those are included as well.
Yes, certainly we can revisit the consultant's findings from the Keep Deltona Wild and make sure that any areas in District 1 are also included in the manager's search.
Are you good, Commissioner Harriet, so I can move on to Vice Mayor?
Yep, absolutely.
All right.
Thank you, Zach. Thank you, Mayor.
Vice Mayor Avila Vasquez?
Thank you, Mayor. I am for this, and just include Volusia forever, since they have the expertise and the knowledge of how to go about this. I would approve it in that, with adding that the city manager reaches out to them and works alongside with them. I mean, they do have the expertise. They know what they're looking for, what's beneficial, what it's not going to work, what's going to work, and probably how to deal with the owners of the properties.
Yes, if the maker of the motion and second would like to add that to the resolution, we can certainly do that. It already does provide direction for the manager to look at conservation and funding sources, which would include Volusia Forever. But if you'd like to make that more specific, that's not a problem.
I
Commissioner
think the manager is well aware of the resources at his disposal. We've had several conversations. He knows Volusia Forever is a integral part of making that happen, so he's aware of the resources. We can't do it without Volusia Forever. We know that.
Okay, so can we include that?
Yeah, if you want to add Volusia Forever as a resource, I'm okay with that.
Thank you.
Commissioner Harriet, are you okay with that as the seconder?
Yes.
Okay. When you bring that back to us, Zach or city manager, can we make sure, and I don't know how the dais feels as far as appetite on this, but you guys have started doing, city manager Doherty, you started doing these kind of workshops where the residents are involved with different presentations. I think something like that to get feedback directly, and maybe not where they can follow the commissioners, but also let them speak along with each commissioner that's going through the tables. I think that would be a great way to go about that. When we come back with an explanation on the workshop, I think out of thoughtful process of killing any confusion or misunderstanding, can we get like a list of stuff? For example, the property is going to be conserved for parks, for just that, what it cannot be used for, so we have a clear narrative of what that property is being used for or not. And finally, as we've spoken about in the past, can we make sure also that it's in the property deed? Because that makes a big difference. I've seen dollar stores not being able to get started because the dollar store, it's like 3 minutes away, had a deed restriction against its competitors. So is the commission okay with that? At least for a workshop, I think it would be great for our residents. Yeah. Okay. All right, we have the motion and a second on the floor. Can we call for a vote, please?
Commissioner Caldwell?
Yes.
Commissioner Harriet?
Yes.
Commissioner Howington?
Yes.
Commissioner Nabek? Yes. Commissioner Santiago?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Avila Vasquez?
Yes.
Mayor Avila?
Yes. Motion passes 7-0. All right, at this time, we are going to go to city attorney comments.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Tonight, I just wanted to flag for everyone here that there's a bill that was passed this last session, SB 1134, which deals with DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion, and provides some very strict guidelines for local governments coming into effect January 1st, 2027. So we're preparing a legal memorandum that will be provided to you all as well as your city manager and professional staff that provides the guidelines for what constitutes an official action and what actions going forward may no longer be permitted, as well as what is falls within exceptions such as federal observances, et cetera.
Thank you so much. City Manager Doherty.
All right, thank you, Mayor. Just to give you a quick update on the 4B project, the Lakeshore Boat Ramp. As you know, the 4B project was under construction since May of 2022. The project encountered issues with artesian boils appearing during excavation and immediately halted the project itself. Since that time, the city's been in contact with St. John's Water Management District, as well as each of the companies that were involved with the construction and their attorneys. So in addition, because of the environmental sensitivity of the location, geological and geotechnical planning was required to restore the area, which unfortunately has taken quite a bit of time to correctly engineer the project. In January 2026, the restoration plan was placed on Demand Star bid site with a pre-bid meeting for February 11th. On March 9th of this year, 3 bids were received. The following day, the lowest bidder withdrew their bid because they had missed substantial portions of the scope and would not be able to perform and complete the project. During the review of the remaining bids, our procurement department found errors in the remaining bidders' calculations. Therefore, instead of moving forward with any of the bidders, the staff wisely rejected all the bids. To ensure the complete compliance, our city utility department and engineering firm Mead and Hunt added further details to the bid to additionally convey the technical aspects to the geotechnical plan, while also incorporating piping that will be used for the future delivery of the surface water to from Lake Monroe to the RIP site. The expectation of our staff was these further details would likely produce more bids and even more competitive pricing. The plan was communicated at the April 13th Commission workshop. On May 11th, 2026, the bid was advertised and the pre-bid meeting held. 15 general contractors and subcontractors were present at that meeting. Staff determined that because of the project's sensitive nature, 60-day advertising period was required, which extended, gave us an extension that was advantageous to the city. July 9th, the city received 4 qualified bids, which the lowest bid was actually less than the original previous lowest bid from the earlier bid. The item will come before the commission on August 3rd for approval to award the contract. Planning has already begun, and if approved to award, pre-construction meeting will be held later that week. Once started, it's anticipated the restoration will take 6 to 9 months to complete. Following the notice to proceed, the restoration will not only encompass repairing the artesian wells, but the reconstruction will also replace the aging boat ramp, the seawall, and the docks around the boat ramp. This project has been a long journey, but we finally are close to a resolution, bringing that beautiful spot back for all to enjoy. As indicated on the pictures on the screen, showing how shallow the lake is, even if a boat ramp was open today, unfortunately the ramp would not be able to be used until Lake Monroe fills back up with more water. As anyone lives on the lake knows, Mother Nature is thirsty and is slowly draining our lakes. The second part of the 4B project, and the reason for the entire project to start, is to move surface water from Lake Monroe to the RIB site, which would put cleaning water down to recharge the aquifer. And I'll talk about that project at another time. Only the other thing is this Monday, as a reminder to the Commission, July 27th, we have the Commission meeting, joint meeting with the Planning and Zoning Board for a joint workshop to continue discussion of the comp plan, which will include a presentation of the proposed mixed-use future land use categories. So Monday at 5:30, Commission meeting here with our joint group of the Planning and Zoning Board. Thank you.
Before I go to the commissioners, are you going to put a communication out about the update on the boat ramp? Just because I know we all get bombarded with that question. Are you going to be putting an update out? Perfect. Thank you.
It'll be coming to the Commission actually in the next meeting or two also. Thank you.
All right, we have about 5 minutes left, so I'll start with Commissioner District 6 and work the way up that way. Nothing? Commissioner Colwell?
Yes.
I have something if you're doing the button push.
Okay, I'll get you on the other side.
Yes, at the next city commission meeting, I'd like to bring back resolution 2026-48 in regards to the property at 271 Fort Smith Boulevard.
There's a request by Commissioner Colwell. We just need a simple majority on that. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? All right.
I also was wondering, who's in charge of taking care of the sidewalks on Holland Boulevard? Is it a county or is it ours?
Should be county. I don't see Public Works here
Do
right
we have
now.
any follow-ups with them? I was complaining about the way they're repairing the sidewalks.
Yeah.
By doing just simple patches.
If you can give me the locations, all we can do is pass it on to them.
All right.
The
I have
county.
pictures. I don't know the location. They just sent me pictures, so I'll find
Yes, sir.
it out. That's it. That's all I have. Thank you.
Commissioner Howington?
So recently, we've dealt with some issues with the clerk and voting. We heard during comments tonight that people have concerns. I'd like to know if the commission would have an appetite to allowing the residents to vote on the ballot to move the supervisor of elections to our qualifying officer to remove any of the issues that we've seen in the past, because we all know that this was a black eye to the community. And I'd like to not see that happen anymore in the future. And I'd like to let the residents decide.
Yes, to your point, and I'll give it first. Zach, you're going to have to tell us how we're going to, because I know that's a charter thing. I know I brought it up to the city manager that the qualifying clerk should go directly to the supervisor of election. There might be some pushback from her, but Zach, could you give us what we need to do for that?
Yeah, so in order to get a charter amendment on.
I'm sorry to
ballot-
cut you off. Can we get a simple majority just to pass this request? All those in favor?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Go ahead, Zach, finish what you were going to say.
So in order to get a charter amendment on the November ballot, if you wanted to include this in the charter, I believe you're probably not timely with that. However, I'd need to double check with the deadlines with the supervisor's office. Your qualifying official is actually set by ordinance. So that is something that you could consider changing via ordinance. I would need more time to evaluate your charter and see if there are any other provisions of the charter that would need to be changed as far as your qualifying procedures. But that's something that we can look into and get back to at the next meeting.
Mayor and Commission staff would encourage that decision to move forward and pass it on to the county. That is what they do full-time elections, and is not something we do as a city. So yes, absolutely. Thank you.
Can I get a motion to extend the meeting? Commissioner Howington? All right, there's a motion by Commissioner Howington, second, I'm assuming by Vice Mayor, okay. Simple majority, all those in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Aye.
All right, go ahead, Commissioner Santiago.
Just really quick, this Sunday, back to school fair at the center, starting at 8 o'clock. Free backpacks, school supplies, free haircuts, lots of information for our children to get them ready to get back to school. So hope I see families and students out there, as well as don't forget Wig Out. I know Dana McCool was here giving information. She left some flyers in the back. That's going to be September 25th. And that's all I have for now. Thank you. Have a good night.
Commissioner Harriet?
Thank you, Mayor. I've got a list of a couple things I'd like to get updates on, and then also see if there's some appetite to move forward with. The first is I'd like to get an update on the installation of additional street lighting on the boulevards, specifically Hallover was included in that a few months ago. And then I would also like to find out if we have an existing policy that governs the naming of city infrastructure. And if we do, then I would like to see that brought back for review. And if we don't, I would like to see us create a policy for that. We've had some requests in the recent past regarding that. And so I'd like to to get moving on it. And then I would also ask the city attorneys if we could look into a potential moratorium on data centers within the city limits.
As far as a moratorium on data centers within city limits, that would likely be a violation of Senate Bill 180. However, your zoning code does not currently recognize data center as an approved principal use. So I believe there's an argument to be made that a zoning code amendment at a minimum would be required to permit a data center from coming in. And if the commission would like to provide direction to staff to evaluate your zoning code and look at and develop a memorandum about data centers and whether they are a permitted use, we can certainly do that.
Thank you, Zach. I would ask that we get consensus to direct legal to provide a memorandum on what our code says regarding the land use for data centers.
All those in favor, simple majority to say aye. Aye. All those opposed? All right, we have direction.
Thank you, guys. That's everything I have for tonight.
Vice Mayor Avila Vasquez.
Thank you, Mayor. Well, one of my questions was answered. It was about Lakeshore Drive, boat ramp. But I was brought up to my attention, we having another problem with Lake Gleason boat ramp. So, and I know that it was brought up, I think it was brought up to Parks and Recs and they reacted to it immediately, but there seems to be some work that needs to be done there. So can we please follow up on it? So now we have 2 boat ramps out of commission. And that's all I have right now. Thank you.
Thank you. All I have is really quick. Through the U.S. Conference of Mayors, I was able to get the city Parks and Recs 200 official FIFA soccer balls. That's going to be donated to, I guess, our kids. I gave them directly to Parks and Recs, but it was at no cost to the city. And, you know, it starts in the parks, and we have great parks in our city. So I'm just excited to announce that. So everybody have a good night. Meeting's adjourned.